Tap water quality is a measure of the quality of treated water flowing through the water distribution system and into homes, commercial buildings, and public buildings throughout a community. Monitoring is critical to ensure that the water being consumed by residents is clean and safe for consumptive purposes such as drinking, cooking, and washing food. The Department of Municipal Affairs and Environment is responsible for regular chemical monitoring for public supplies in Newfoundland and Labrador. This video will describe how to access your community's drinking water quality data. A community's most recent seasonal drinking water quality data can be accessed on the Department of Municipal Affairs and Environment's website, www.mae.gov.nl.ca. From here, select Environment, then Water Resources. In the middle of the page, select News and Highlights. Under Water Resources at the top of the page, select the current year and look for the most recent seasonal drinking water quality update. This will take you to a variety of data types for the most recent season. The 5 available data types you can review include source and tap water, trihalomethanes, or THMs, haloacidic acids, or HAAs, drinking water quality index, and the Langelier index. The Department of Municipal Affairs and Environment, in partnership with municipal governments, monitors source and tap water quality of public supplies on a regular basis to ensure compliance with the guidelines for Canadian drinking water quality. In here, you can find source and tap water reports for physical parameters and major ions, and nutrients and metals. To see when your community has been sampled, refer to the sampling schedule webpage. Source water is sampled every 2 to 3 years. During the year the sources are sampled, the frequency is semi-annually. Tap water is sampled a minimum of semi-annually for inorganic parameters. Tap water is sampled seasonally for large population centers with populations greater than 5,000. Select the season and parameter of interest, and the link will take you to a report listing all communities with public drinking water systems that were sampled for that season. There are 2 different kinds of parameters, acidic or contaminant parameters. The Guidelines for Canadian Drinking Water Quality provide maximum acceptable concentration guidelines, or MACs, for both acidic and contaminant parameters. Acidic quality guidelines, denoted with an A, address parameters which may affect consumer acceptance of drinking water, such as taste, odor, and color, but do not pose any known risk for adverse health effects. Contaminant quality guidelines, denoted with a C, address parameters which are known or suspected to cause adverse health effects in consumers when the concentration is greater than the MAC. Acidic parameter exceedances are underlined and highlighted in blue text, while contaminant parameter exceedances are enclosed in a box and highlighted in red text. The Department monitors trihalomethanes, or THMs, and haloacidic acids, or HAAs, in drinking water quality on a regular basis. THMs and HAAs are disinfection byproducts that form when the chlorine used for disinfection reacts with organic matter naturally present in the water being treated. The MAC for THMs is 100 micrograms per liter and is calculated as a running annual average over the 4 samples. The THM summary data for all communities can be found here, along with a graph of distribution of THM levels and a graph of THM exceedances per fiscal year. In the THM summary data document, values listed in green indicate the THM average is below the national guidelines of 100 micrograms per liter running annual average. If the value is listed in red, the THM average exceeds the recommended national guideline of 100 micrograms per liter running annual average. If the value is listed in black, data is not available for all of the past 4 quarterly sampling periods and therefore cannot be compared to national guidelines. The MAC for HAAs is 80 micrograms per liter and is calculated as a running annual average over the 4 samples. Similarly, the HAA summary data for all communities, a graph of distribution of HAA levels, and a graph of HAA exceedances per fiscal year can be found here. A water quality index is a means by which water quality is summarized for reporting to the public in a consistent manner. It is similar to the UV index or an air quality index. It tells us, in simple terms, what the quality of drinking water is from a drinking water supply. The water quality index is calculated by comparing the water quality data to the guidelines for Canadian drinking water quality, producing a score between 0 and 100. The higher the score, the better the quality of the water. The scores are then ranked into 5 categories: excellent, 95 to 100, very good, 89 to 94, good, 80 to 88, fair, 65 to 79, marginal, 45 to 64, or poor, 0 to 44. Water quality index scores are computed for each public water supply system that have been sampled in a season. The community reports can be viewed here. Note that if a public water supply system is on a boil order, has a current contaminant exceedance, or has a THM average above the drinking water quality guideline, a water quality index score is not computed. The Lange-Lear index is an approximate indicator of the degree of saturation of calcium carbonate in water. It is calculated using the pH, alkalinity, calcium concentration, total dissolved solids, and water temperature of a water sample collected at the tap. If the Lange-Lear index is negative, then the water is undersaturated with calcium carbonate and will tend to be corrosive in the distribution system. This can cause leakage and will cause metals from the pipes to leach into the water. If it is positive, then the water is oversaturated with calcium carbonate and will tend to deposit calcium carbonate forming scales in the distribution system. This can decrease the efficiency of water-using appliances such as dishwashers and washing machines. If the index is close to 0, then the water is just saturated with calcium carbonate and will neither be strongly corrosive or scale-forming. Lange-Lear index reports for all communities sampled in the selected season can be found here. To access your community's historical drinking water quality data, click the Home tab, and then click Water Resources Portal in the thumbnail in the middle of the screen. Water resources data in the portal include drinking water quality data and treatment profiles, protection areas for ground and surface water supplies, boil water advisories, ambient water quality data, station profiles and watersheds, real-time water quality data and hydrometric station data and station profiles. To find drinking water quality data for your community, select your community from the drop-down list under Community Water Resources Reports. When you find your community, click View Community Reports to see the available water resources reports. The Boil Water Advisory Report will indicate when the Boil Water Advisory was issued and for what reason. The Drinking Water Quality Index Report will highlight the community's drinking water quality index for each season. Note that if a public water supply system is on a Boil Water Advisory, has a current contaminant exceedance, or has a THM's average above the drinking water quality guideline, a water quality index score is not computed. The HAA All-Line Data Report will indicate which types of HAAs are forming. The HAA concentration is summarized in the right-hand column. The HAA Summary Report shows the HAA average for each season and what type of average. A running average means that the data is available for all of the past 4 quarterly sampling periods. Running annual averages are directly comparable with the national guideline of 80 micrograms per liter. A simple average means data is not available for all of the past 4 sampling periods. This data cannot be compared directly to the recommended limit. The Lange-Lear Index Report shows the selected community's calculated Lange-Lear Index for past seasons. The Source Water Nutrients and Metals Report shows the concentration of which different nutrients and metals are found in the community's source water. Acidic parameter exceedances are highlighted in blue text, and contaminant parameter exceedances are highlighted in red text. The Source Water Physical Parameters and Major Ions Report shows the concentrations of each physical parameter in past samples. Acidic parameter exceedances are highlighted in blue text, and contaminant parameter exceedances are highlighted in red text. The THM All-Line Data Report will indicate which types of THMs are forming. The THM concentration is summarized in the right-hand column. The THM Summary Report shows the THM average for each season and what type of average. A running average means that the data is available for all of the past 4 quarterly sampling periods. Running annual averages are directly comparable with the national guideline of 100 micrograms per liter. A simple average means data is not available for all of the past 4 sampling periods. This data cannot be compared directly to the recommended limit. The Tap Water Nutrients and Metals Report shows the concentration of which different nutrients and metals are found in the community's tap water. Aesthetic parameter exceedances are highlighted in blue text, and contaminant parameter exceedances are highlighted in red text. The source water physical parameters of major ions report shows the concentrations of each physical parameter in past samples. Aesthetic parameter exceedances are highlighted in blue text, and contaminant parameter exceedances are highlighted in red text. Note that the arrows above the table are used to navigate the pages of the reports. Click the icon in the top left-hand portion of the table to export the data to an Excel spreadsheet. As well, you can print the table by clicking on the print icon. This message has been brought to you by the Government of Newfoundland and Labrador.